Okay, so good morning students. How are you all? Are you all fine? Okay. So students, have you all done the homework? So let's check once that have you done correct or not. Okay? Okay, so first question that you got was write the features of CNG. So the features of CNG are number 1, it is clean. Number 2, it is less polluting. Then second one, what are the examples of natural gas? So the examples of natural gas are methane, carbon dioxide, that is CO2, then nitrogen, helium, etc. Then the natural, where is the natural gas is found? Where is the natural gas found? That was your third question. And the answer for that you will write, the natural gas is mainly found in Tripura, Rajasthan and Maharashtra in India. Okay. So you all have done the homework well. So keep it up and keep doing the homeworks and assignments. Okay. Then today we will start the last topic, okay, which is the last part of the chapter 2. And this will, after studying this, our chapter 5, coal and petroleum, will come to an end. Okay. So today we will know something and learn something about energy and the requirements of energy in nature or in earth. Okay. So students, first let me know, do you know what is energy? You are studying, you would have studied from your lower classes onwards that what is energy. Okay. Our parents say, our teachers say, eat this, you'll get energy, do this, you'll get energy. So what is this energy actually? So students, energy is the capacity to do work. In the very basic term, we say energy is the capacity to do work. See students, we all need energy to do our work. In the same way, all the organisms on earth, present on earth, need energy. Not only the living organisms but also the non-living things which are present on the earth, they need some kind of energy to live or to stay alive. It is not compulsory that energy is only got from the food we eat. No, energy can be taken in many forms. Okay, we have sunlight, it gives us heat energy. Then we have electricity, which gives us light energy. Then we have many other forms of energy too. In the first part, when we were studying the introduction of this chapter, we studied that there are many sources of energy. Okay, one is the renewable and other is the non-renewable. Under renewable sources, we have many examples like sunlight, wind, etc. But in the non-renewable sources, we have studied mainly coal and petroleum and also So all these natural or the man-made or whatever it is, the non-renewable resources are always limited and they take so many years, so many billions of years to be formed, as we have seen for coal and petroleum, as they were taking around 200 to 300 billion years to form. So if it is finished once or it is exhausted once, then again we need to wait for billions of years to get it back. So there are many resources, renewable resources also and non-renewable sources also. So then now we will get to know that why we need energy, what is the requirement of energy, why energy is needed. Okay, then what is the use of energy? See, requirement of energy could be in many ways. Okay, we need energy to run factories, we need energy to run our machines. Okay, we need energy to cook food, we need for every work what we do. Okay, or for every work we need some or the other form of energy. But students, when we talk about energy, and we have also known that there are non-renewable sources of energy, and if we see, mostly non-renewable sources of energy are more luxurious to us and we use them more frequently because they make our work easier. But these are limited. So when they are limited, there are few reasons why requirement of energy is increasing day by day. One main basic reason that increases the energy requirement is first rapid increase in the population. As we all know that the birth rate on the earth is very high, and due to this population is day by day increasing. Okay, and when the population increases, number of people increases, and when the number of people increases, the requirement also increases, the demand increases. Okay, suppose particularly there are 8 members in a family. Okay, 8 members in a family, they have sufficient rooms, they have sufficient food to eat and everything. Okay, but suddenly there are some more children coming in the house, then some more relatives coming in the house. What is that? It increases the demand. Okay, that time we need more water, we need more food. Okay, we need more space to live in. In the same way, when the population increases rapidly, when the population increases rapidly, the need or the requirement of energy also increases. More and more energy is utilized by the rising population. Then the second point, that is advancement in technology. Advancement, these both reasons rely upon each other. Why? Because when the population increases, the technology advances itself. Because when the population increase, what happens is the demand of the people increase, and when the demand increase, the technologists have to undertake some steps to increase or to advance the things which are already going on. So due to that advancement, they need to change many things. You need to use more energy. For example, suppose earlier when we were not having that luxurious apparatuses, like washing machines, then mobile phones, then or about the that show bulbs. All these things were not present, but even then the people were living. The people were not having their personal cars in homes, not having the personal bikes, scooters, all these things, but then also they were living. It was not that they were unable to live. They were living. It means that we can even live without the luxurious things. But now in this era, in the present world, what is happening is, due to advancement in technology, everything is advanced. Now we cannot even imagine our life without these things. And that's why the requirement of energy is increasing with the advancement in technology. We were studying that there are some natural resources like coal, petroleum, then natural gas. All these are limited on earth. And when these are limited on earth, what is happening is our population is increasing, our demands are increasing. Our way of living is increasing. And in that way of living, we need many luxurious things, and those luxurious things require more energy. And in the way, natural resources are depleting day by day. They are ending day by day. So these limitation of natural resources, and due to this limitation of resources, we may face many problems in the coming future. Either we or our future generations, but on this earth we may face many problems due to limitation of natural resources or the depletion of them. So let's see what problems that may cause. The very much important problem that could occur is exhaustion of the existing fossil fuels. We are having the fossil fuels right now, that is coal, petroleum and etc. All these things, with our continuous usage, it will exhaust in the coming future. Now we need many of the bikes, cars, personal vehicles, all these things. We use much of petrol. And we also know that petrol, diesel, all these are coming under the non-renewable resources. and with that these resources are depleting day by day, and a time will come when they will completely end. And you can imagine the situation what it would be. Okay, now we are having it, so we are wasting it, we are using it enormously, but a time when those things will not be there for us, then what will be the situation? Okay, so that is one of the problem. Then second is the pollution of environment. We all know, see, pollution of environment. Why pollution of environment? See, when we extract these fossil fuels or the natural resources from deep down the earth, ultimately though that area plus many much area far from that is destroyed due to that extraction process. Okay, so that may cause soil pollution or the infertility of the soil for growing the crops or the plants. Then we are processing it, then we are burning the fossil fuels. Yes, and when we are processing it and when we are doing the process of distillation or destructive distillation, etc., in all these processes the waste is being removed and gone to the water bodies that may pollute the water too. Then we are burning a lot of fossil fuels, either it is petrol, either it is diesel, or it is coal, anything. We are burning the fossil fuels, and that is causing the air to mix with those harmful chemicals or the harmful smoke, which may cause the air pollution. So pollution of the environment is a very common problem that would be faced in the coming future. Then comes the global warming. Then students, what is global warming? We have come across this term many times, okay, from the starting onwards, that what is global warming? See, global represents the complete globe. It is not about India, it is not about America, it is not about China. It is about complete globe, means our complete earth. So the earth will suddenly cause so much of heating that it will cause global warming. That unusual heating of the earth, okay, unusual heating of the globe, because of the burning of the fossil fuels or the burning of the natural resources, okay, all these things may cause our globe to warm and increase the temperature of the globe. And in that case it will lead to global warming, which may again lead to many other difficulties for living, for even the plants, for animals, and for other organisms too. Then one more can be energy crisis. See, what is meant by crisis? Crisis is actually the difficulty. Okay, crisis is when we are not able to get the proper or the particular thing in a proper manner. In a proper manner means, suppose the fossil fuel, suppose there are no fossil fuels, okay, so we will go for crisis. Then when there is, see, now it is pandemic time, okay, and in this pandemic time, this corona time, our families are facing many kind of financial crisis because of not getting of salaries or no work or many other reasons. Okay, they are facing energy, they are in financial crisis. Okay, in the same way, when the fossil fuels will end, when the natural sources will deplete, in that case we will face energy crisis and we will not have energy to be used. So these are some of the problems that may cause due to natural limitation of natural. So students, you can see this curve here, this energy production and consumption curve. This will show us that how much energy is produced. Okay, different forms of energy are produced on the earth, and how much they are produced, and what is the consumption rate, how we are using it. Okay, so this will differentiate between those. So in the first curve, you can see the different energies are shown with different colors. First, you can see the 16% blue color showing 16%. Okay, that represents the hydro energy. As we know that we have 70% of water resource on earth, even then only 16% is utilized for the energy production. Then you can see again the dark blue color, that is 41%. Okay, this 41% shows the coal, and this is the highest production which we can see. Okay, coal is produced in the highest rate on the earth, and that is 41%. Then you can see oil is produced only 5%. Okay, oil is produced only 5% in the whole world. Then natural gas is produced 21%. Okay, 21% of the energy is the natural gas. Then 14% worldwide is nuclear energy, and 3% is given to the other some forms which may not be named, but the few small forms of energy that could be taken as 3%. So this is what the energy production. And then you can see in the next figure the consumption rate, and here we have started from 1990 onwards and we have taken it till 2045, and in the curve you can see that continuously the rate of consumption is increasing. Okay, in the left side you can see 200, 400, 600, all this represents the energy in joules. Then the right side one, that shows the year. Okay, year by year. So you can see in the 1990 it was 373 joules. Then 2000 it became 428 joules. Then 2008 it became 532, and so on. It started increasing, and it is increasing. And now it is 2020 and we can see it is 628 joules approx. And in the coming future, in the coming years, it may reach to more heights. So this is what happening. Suppose for example students, if a person is getting a salary 10% every month, okay, and his if a person he is earning 10,000 every month, but his expenses are more, his expenses come around 12,000 every month, then what will happen? Will he be able to cope up? No. In the same way, we are having less energy, but we are using it more and more, and that will only result in the energy crisis in the coming future if we continue to go on do like this. Now we will see how we will use the energy judiciously so that we may not cause the problems or the crisis of energy in the coming future. So students, what do you mean by judicious? Okay, what is the meaning of judicious? Judicious means, it means using the energy properly in a proper manner so that it is not wasted. Okay, we are continuously using the energy resources, and in a way we are wasting them too. So we should use the energy in such a way that it is not wasted. We should use the energy only when needed. Okay, like that. So now we will see some of the ways that how we could use the energy judiciously. Okay, we will see some of the ways. So students, these are some of the judicious ways of using energy. First, you may have heard many times that you should off the lights, fans when they are not in use whenever you leave the room. Either it is your private property or it is your public property. Either you are in school or you are in any other place. Whenever you see the lights or fans on and it is not in use, then you should off it. Okay, you should not think that it is not mine, why shall I do? So it is not the way. We are all the caretakers of this earth. We are all of us are the caretakers of this earth, and we should do our duty well. Then second one, we should use the appliances like geyser, coolers only when it is extremely needed. Means these are such appliances which are not in the extremely needed ones. See, who can afford, they are taking. Those who cannot afford, they are also leaving, na? So what is the use if it is not so extremely needed that without it we cannot live? In that case, we should avoid using them. Okay. Then one more thing is, we should cook in a reduced flame. See, when our utensils are the smaller ones and we cook in the full size flame, then what happens? The gas goes from the corners of the utensil outside and it is wasted. So we should cook in the reduced flame always. Then nowadays we see many kind of lightings, the fashionable bulbs, etc. So instead of those, we should use CFLs and tube lights. We have also came across that PM, okay, our Prime Minister, there were some of the plans of the government of distributing the CFL bulbs to the public. So that was because the CFL bulbs use less amount of energy compared to the other ones. So it is advised to use them more. Okay, and tube lights also consume less energy, so they could also be used. Then we should use public transports. Then it is a very difficult one, but we need to. If we want to save energy, if we want to save our environment, it is the utmost requirement of today's era. We should use public transport because we all are having our personal vehicles. All the personal vehicles are consuming some amount of energy. Okay, petrol, diesel are needed. So to avoid that, we should use public transport. A public transport may take 10 to 15 members in a bus mostly, usually, and more than that even. And even in auto, 5 to 6 members can sit together. So that consumption of 5 or 6 members individual vehicle may be consumed in only one auto. So what happens is our energy is saved. So that's why it is advised that we should use public transports instead of the private ones. Then one more solution is we can use the closed vessels for cooking. Some of the closed vessels like pressure cookers. Okay, then even if you are using other utensils, then also we should cover the lid and prepare our food so that the energy does not waste. Okay, so these are some of the judicious ways of using energy. Okay students, so now we will see conservation of fossil fuels. Okay, we will see the what is meant by conservation, then how fossil fuels are conserved, and what are some of the ways of conserving the fossil fuels on the earth. Okay, so first let me know if you know what is conservation. What do you mean by conservation, students? Conservation means to protect or save something. Conservation means to protect or save something. So we need to protect our fossil fuels and we need to save them for our coming future because it is going on depleting day by day. Okay. So we have learned about fossil fuels, that fossil fuels are used at a very faster rate. Okay. They are being used at a very faster rate and they will be finished as soon as we are continuously using them. Okay, if we do not manage to use them properly, then what will happen is they will finish up. Okay, they will finish up, and the thing is we need to protect them, we need to save them. Okay, and we need to make less use of those resources so that we could be able to meet our energy requirements. Okay, if we are not using it properly, our energy requirements will not be fulfilled. Then there are many advantages of using fossil fuel alternatives. Okay, fossil fuels alternatives. There are many alternatives that could be used in place of fossil fuels. Okay, and so we will study and learn about some of the points of some of the following ways which could be used to protect our natural resources such as fossil fuels. Then what fossil fuels we have studied in this chapter mainly? We have studied about coal, petroleum, natural gas. Yes, we have studied. Yes. One of the alternative and the way that could be used in place of fossil fuel is natural gas. See, we have studied about natural gas, that it is less polluting, and we can use natural gas. Okay, we have studied about compressed natural gas. So we can use the natural gases, methane, or it is carbon dioxide, or all these gases, to use them as energy instead of using fossil fuels, because natural gases will be more on earth and it will not finish up. Okay, then we can use solar energy. Okay, there are many sources of using solar energy nowadays. There are solar heaters, there are solar chargers, then solar power is there, solar cookers are there. Okay, utensils are also using solar. So this is the most valuable resource that could be used instead of fossil fuels, because sun is never going to end. Sun will be there forever. Then then we know about the windmills which generate power. Okay, so we can use windmills instead of using the fossil fuels for generating electricity or generating power. Then we can use hydro energy. We can use the water energy which is generated from water, okay, which is generated from water, and use them. Then we need to use the biomass energy. What is biomass energy, students? Biomass energy is generated from the dungs of animals like cows, okay, from the animal dung of cows or other animals. Biomass energy is created, okay, biomass energy is created, and it can be used as a fuel. And this biomass energy, or it is also called the biogas, is a very cheap and convenient fuel that could be used for cooking and for other purposes. Even in the rural areas, the people use biogas energy. They use those energies for cooking food, then for other heating purposes they use it. So student, these are some of the ways by which we can conserve our fossil fuels. Okay, I hope you all are clear with the chapter. With this we end our chapter. Students, now let's check what you have studied in this chapter. We'll just summarize what we have studied. So while starting the chapter, we studied about resources on earth. Okay, then we came to know there are natural and man-made resources, there are exhaustible and inexhaustible resources, etc. Then we came to know about fossil fuels, that fossil fuels are the dead remains, okay, they are formed from the dead remains of the plants or animals, and which are formed deep down the earth. Under fossil fuel, we came across the two main topics, that is coal and petroleum, which is also the name of our chapter. In the coal, we studied about the introduction, that what is coal, yes, what is coal, where it is found, etc. Then in the coal itself, we studied how it is formed inside the earth. Then what are the types of coal? Okay, inside and the types we studied about three types: lignite, bituminous, and anthracite. Okay, lignite is the least quality coal, and anthracite is the highest and the best quality coal. Then we saw the products. Under products, we studied about coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Then we studied the applications, that why coal is needed, where it is needed, etc. Then we came to petroleum. In petroleum, we studied about the introduction. In introduction, we came to know who finds petroleum, what are the name of the persons who find petroleum, that were sedimentologist, then geochemist, then etc. Then we came to know about how it is refined, how it is processed, and its constituents are separated. Then what are the products? Inside product, we saw there are refining gases, kerosene, petrol, diesel, and many more. Then we also saw the applications. Then we came to natural gas. Then we saw that natural gas is a very important alternative, a very good alternative for using the fossil fuels. Then today we studied about energy requirement, that why energy is required, how much energy is required. We also saw the curve of energy, the consumption and production. Then we saw that natural resources have many limitations and they are going to end. So we may face some problems in the future. We studied about those problems. Then we saw the judicious use of energy, means the use of energy properly, Then at last we studied about conservation of fossil fuels. So that's all about this chapter. So finally this chapter is completed. If you have any doubt regarding the complete chapter, you can ask me. Okay, you can clear your doubts too. Your notes part will be sent to you on your WhatsApp group. The hydroelectric power. The hydroelectric power is generated from water bodies. Then your second question, dash is a cheap and convenient fuel for rural populations. Okay, what is that? That is biogas. Biogas is a cheap and convenient fuel used for a rural population. Then your third question is, energy crisis can be prevented by dash use of energy. You have studied today, right? So answer me. Students, that is judicious use of energy. Energy crisis can be prevented by judicious use of energy. Very good. Okay, students, now it is the turn for your home assignment, and all of you should do the homework and show me. Okay, and we will discuss it in the next class. Okay, so your first question is, write few tips for saving petrol or diesel while driving. See, when we are driving, there are many tips given. Okay, even the traffic rules or some other rules are there. Not even the rules, it is our some kind of duties which we should follow. So that tips you will write, that how you can save petrol and diesel while driving. Then second one you will write is, what are the reasons for increased demand of energy? We have studied it today. There were mainly two reasons. You can find out more. If you get, you can find out more and you can think of more. Two I have given you. So you have to write those reasons for the increased demand of energy. Okay. So have a good day. Stay safe. Stay at home and study well. Okay. Thank you.